Chapter, and I have too much on my mind for idle numerical chit-chat. I've got your...
Got a lot on my mind, but I can make time.
All those Auntie's Choice adverts claiming each new product is 110% this and that, as if numbers are just another adjective unmoored from evidence. Doesn't it infuriate?
Come now. You can't really expect truth in advertising.
It's not the mistruth. Cavalier liberties taken with basic mathematics. How can every product be 110% better? What does that even mean?
Have you tried the new Boars? Tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I oughta step away? Hey, need something?
Straight, soldier.
Heard that rift near the Archive has destabilized. Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Members of Auntie's Choice are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
Huh. If only one of us could have foreseen this situation. But I'll stay back, Commander. Ain't no reason to cause a scene.
You should heed the wisdom of your friend.
Yeah, these hues suit my complexion real good.
As likely as I find that theory, we have rules and regulations for a reason. We are at war, you might have noticed. Fine. The consequences be on your head if it proves otherwise. Head on in.
Impressed as I am that worked, I ain't sure about this. Being vastly outnumbered by the enemy ain't a corner I like to be backed into.
Ah, Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. May all your problems precede solutions.
Ah, feels real nice in here. Wouldn't mind us dragging our feet so we can enjoy the warmth a little longer.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? But if you had to prioritize one area over the other, expand on that for me. You are a single gear in the grand workings of the universe, and should not expect to control all of its mechanisms or outcomes. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. Earth Directorate? In Arcadia? That's rather anomalous. And I'd go as far as to say wholly unexpected. By all means, continue. I'm fascinated to learn the particulars of this little mission of yours. How noble and noteworthy. I was under the impression the Order... We had this well in hand, but I'm always happy to have my assumptions corrected. You know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more private, I think we could both benefit. Right this way. You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. I'm limiting my water intake and using other pharmaceuticals to combat the effects. It's not a perfect system, but it works adequately enough. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? One more thing before you leave. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win. You're back. Any luck with the sample?
On a scale of 1 to 100, how pleased are you with the garden in its current state? Please, try to capture your exact satisfaction to the nearest tenth integer.
A second makeup exam will not be off, so I hope you studied this time, right?
If you need to discharge any sputum, I ask you kindly aim such accretions away from my general direction. Thank you. No, not dead. Not yet. Nor imminently, one hopes. I am merely waiting. I have no idea. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today. Right here, at these very coordinates. Indeed you are. All figures have value in the universal equation, although, upon immediate reflection, I don't think that's what you meant. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that? 4. No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will. through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst.
Let me get this straight. You're here experimenting on folk freely, all the while calling us at Auntie's Choice barbarians for doing the same damn thing?
I beg your pardon, young miss, but it's hardly the same. This study was completely voluntary. The participants all gave their consent.
Yeah, I bet they did. Did you withhold research funding unless they signed up? Or did you feed them a story, like their participation is critical to some new advancements?
This experiment has the potential to improve Arcadian society 100-fold. Imagine the benefits of a self-sustaining city where all are content and serving the plan.
That's all I'm saying. Don't cry foul when you've got your own schemes going on.
Then that is a failure on the part of yours and your colleagues' understanding. It's nothing to do with the Order, at any rate. I have no interest in debating the ethics of this experiment with a layperson. No offense. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? I don't make a habit of speaking for the dead, but I will say this. Landon Wiley was afflicted by that which strickens all scholars, the desire to effect change, to advance the plan at any cost. Were his methods wrong? Unequivocally. Should he have come to me with his concerns? Undeniably. But was his conclusion categorically sound? That remains debatable. By the architect, no. The Order needs less change, not more. I agree we need to return to our fundamentals, but I'm quite sure my definition of that differs from Wiley's and his cohorts. But let's move on to other topics, please. All this fractious talk is giving me a stomachache and... Oh, I just got rid of the last one. Oh, the garden is a marvel, isn't it? A prime example of how this colony could function if led by science and rationality instead of fear and oppression. Everything within the garden was meticulously selected by a committee of the Order's best archivists to provide for mental clarity and focus. My word, you should have seen the debates over the shrubbery. I've never witnessed such passionate discourse over foliage of all things. And what a history it is. The Order of the Ascendant, along with the Archive, has been headquartered on this moon since the founding of the colony. It was given to us by the matriarch herself. She understood how vital our contributions would be to Arcadian society, which some have forgotten. It is why we're here, in fact. Cloister has two things in abundance, ice and geothermal power. Both made it the ideal location for the Archive, and we've utilized its vast computational power ever since.
Smart researchers patronize the scientician's surplus. Quality goods at algorithmically determined prices.
Every day treating the same strains and abrasions. My tenure for a multifactorial disorder. The operating theater is not conducting viewing dissections at this time. That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself or a willing volunteer. Just to be clear. Not as concerning as some of the scenes I have been called to in the middle of the night. I assure you, the warning is justified. But I trust you are here for a reason other than to discuss scalpel-happy novices. Obviously. Do you think we drink unfiltered snow melt? I'm quite sure I have no knowledge of what you're talking about. Are you feeling all right? Paranoia can be an early symptom of several more serious diseases. Apologies. I have so little that meets the threshold of my expertise. But I should not be projecting my wish for a challenge onto a patient. Let's forget this conversation. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
This is prime real estate, and it's sitting abandoned.
Reckon it even occurred to the Order that they could board the folk at Matriarch's Mercy here?
Farewell. Thank you for this efficiently compact conversation.
How did your hypothesis about the flowers fare?
Exposing them to melodic sound waves on a consistent basis.
Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave.
This access is currently restricted. Keep moving.
Show your work or shove off.
Agent, over here. Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
Hello, stranger. Mercenary. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Any undue rage you note in my tone is not at all related to the recent coup in my beloved protectorate. I do so dearly love residing in a nest of traitors, waiting for them to capitulate, unable to aid my fellows at home. It is truly a wonderful feeling. I cannot leave. My sovereign-given task is to bring the Order back into the Protectorate fold. But now it seems as if I must also bring the Protectorate into its own fold. One deed at a time, Philo. Hate is an inaccurate phrase. I find them arrogant and exasperating. Without the Protectorate, this little organization would have no holdings to squat in. I am here because the Sovereign has tasked me with bringing these wayward, pretentious toddlers back into the Protectorate fold. Unfortunately, my time here has taught me that only mass death has the power to change the local hearts and minds. Perhaps enough will be alive to save afterwards. I've proudly served the Protectorate my whole life. Now look at it. Traitors from without, traitors from within. It's enough to make an old man despair. That consul, I never trusted that miserable bastard. His betrayal is so galling, I'd almost care to join the armed forces to bring him to justice myself. But my hands quaver with age, and the Sovereign has tasked me with my own duty. I must see it to completion before all else.
Lovely day for differential
No
geometry.
reason to reason with you.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. You either already know that the Order is the sole institution capable of saving Arcadia, or you're particularly inclined to ingratiate yourself to me. Either is acceptable. The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its resources and cast it to the wind. And the Protectorate are no better than machines. Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, it will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering, no more doubt. It is indeed a good deal, but we can return to your initial point. There is a task of pivotal importance to the Order, but I cannot entrust it with just any come-by-chance outsider. As head of the Order's exemplars, it's my responsibility to assess whose aims upon Ruth may be malicious. Prove yourself to me first, then we may discuss the rest. To the point. Very well. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
We should collect Azza from the ship first. Unless you don't want the benefits of her inside knowledge of the cult.
See that spire? That's the archive right there. The archive.
What could possibly be keeping the repair personnel so long? Oh, greetings. By any chance, did you happen to encounter the repair personnel I dispatched to Resistor Bank 2789B12? Our new JTY-1030 resistor banks are built with enough durability to suffer through a tremendous amount of misuse. But the brutish handling by the Protectorate is too much for it. The misuse is causing moisture uptake, which causes the resistors to give off more heat. In the snow, that means more moisture, which means even more heat. I'm sure you can observe that the problem is cyclical in nature. I don't suppose you'd be willing to aid me in fixing this? It's down in the valley just southwest of the archive. The heat has liquefied all the snow off the glass surface. It is an easy location to observe. Ursopods, Protectorate forces, rogue scrappers, blizzards, mantisaurs, maybe even Auntie's Choice forces. Truly a smorgasbord of unfortunate options.
Suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Return to mayhem!
We've dealt with all of them.
Soldier, please assess a variable scale of 1 to 100. 1 being entirely pain-free, and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
There is far too much variability in that scale. The amount
No
of
lecture,
pain I
please.
can imagine is hardly an objective measure of the maximum amount of pain I could actually feel.
Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
Another option. Just go. Excuse me, I don't think you have the It's fine, but don't get too close. You won't survive direct contact with the rift. Salutations. We've been doing our utmost to find ways to manipulate this rift or extract data from it. Unfortunately, our efforts have been ineffective thus far. I suppose it's too much to hope for, but would you, perchance, happen to have any practical experience with or mathematical understanding of the rift phenomena? Wait. Actually, this isn't some jest. You'll have to forgive me for not taking your assertion at face value. Perhaps a demonstration. For science, of course.
All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted.
But in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating. That's better. Assistant, make a note of how the rift is deconstructing their epidermis. Oh, damn it. It's reverted to its previous state. Was it a failing of the device or an inevitable effect? They opened it! Hurry! Assistant, activate the monitoring equipment and take readings. Observe. On rare occasion, the plan provides two unknown variables simultaneously. Years of practical... Again, it has reverted. The timing seems similar to the last state change. It's open again. Quickly, record all the relevant data and take down your observations. Reverted again! Infuriating! Architect above. That was incredible. That small, portable device changed the state of the rift anomaly in an instant. From observing how the device operates and how the rift reacted to it, it seems to be using some kind of energy burst generated by a magnetic field to re-deregulate the structure of the field around the rift. Truly an astounding piece of technology. That's quite ingenious. The rifts are unlike any other phenomena heretofore observed. We've still so much to learn. Would you consider allowing me the opportunity to open the casing and examine the inner workings? No, forget I asked. What a preposterous question. Thank you for the demonstration. It was most enlightening. You have given my team and I a good deal to think about, and to try and fit into our current theoretical framework. It seems rifts do not fit cleanly into our current understanding of the universal equation.
Fascinating. It seems gravity doesn't apply to the rift, but it somehow maintains its position in space.
Captain, I fear I have.
You. I don't know you. But you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the Exalted Leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
Absolutely not. We don't need his help. We should just kill him and get on with the Sentinel killing. If we die, at least I'll be taking a great many of them with us. Did you not hear me? I said he dies.
No. Sentinels! Target confirmed! Help! Sentinels! The target is here!
I'm back instead. Unready. Patient. Still recharging.
Die! Swine. This might sting. All of the risk.
They covered our due bounty.
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Consider self-preservation a priority. Standing by to stupefy.
Invasive element.
Locking them down. Torpification in progress. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Vitals are in the red, Commander.
The Protectorate endures.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Do try to limit further damage.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Ought to reload.
Look sharp. It's a fight. Resorting.
Step aside. Swine. All of the risk. This might sting. Still charging. Step aside.
Disturbance detected.
I can't believe the Exalted Leader sent Severin as bait. Not to mention betraying the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward.
The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The Exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. Couldn't have said it better myself. Fortunately, we don't need to worry about hacking their systems. Because my parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms.
I seriously question the structural integrity of that bridge. Combatant Torpificator is charged.
Vital critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander. Target analyzed. Lay down. I will restore my life or avenge my death!
You've suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Mitigating the threat. They're benumbed.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Torpificator at ready status. Combatant scanned. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
You don't always have to go right for dismemberment, Asa. Consider a more subtle approach. You know, death by 1,000 cuts.
Only 1,000 cuts? I once cut down a skeptic with 1,100 cuts. At least that's when I stopped counting.
The fact that you counted does not make the story less unsettling.
Welcome, distinguished. You look unfortified. Getting enough emotional.
Welcome, big spender.
Auntie's Choice welcomes you to Forward Operating Base 136, Future Consumer. You should take care in this hostile climb. Risks include inclement weather, hostile animals, risk of collateral damage, leaking uranium, artillery, shrapnel, frostbite, cave-ins, hypothermia, cultists, landmines, long falls, gangrene, damaged electrical equipment, and insect bites. Don't worry your puzzler, or apply for hazard pay. It's stable. You're seeing the carcass of one of Auntie's large tonnage cargo ships. It was hauling ammo for us. Unfortunately, not anymore. Keep your lamps open if you plan on traversing the terrain east of here. The scrappers have infested the debris field. Ascertaining risks and sending the appropriate low-ranking soldiers to meet them is a predominant requirement of any Auntie's Choice leader. That's enough for rote greetings. You're not a feckless civilian, or you would have died halfway here, so I'll speak plainly. Cloisters asthai. I want off-planet yesterday, with my extremities intact, and that necessitates aid. You do my work for me, I can pay. Some Protectorate jackanapes are holed up on some main routes near here, thereby separating us from the rest of our force. Remove them by any means. Preferably by killing them and scattering their remains to the winds, but so long as they're gone, I don't much care. The sooner you get rid of them, the sooner I can take credit. Clear the Protectorate out from under the bridges and you'll get your pay. Get to fighting or get to dying.
I'm open to ideas. What would you expect that they've done with the archive?
Clearly they've added more automechs, turrets.
The scrappers are getting closer and sniffing around at night. They give me the creeps.
Welcome to Auntie's Choice.
Mobilizing. Come back and scan.
Disrupting crime! Commander's almost dead!
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
2 to go.
Check your scope for combatant analysis. Combatant scan.
Near death, not a good...
Investigating hostile intentions. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Step aside. Swine, all of the risks.
Target analyzed. Lay down.
Perk up, Commander. Don't make me avenge you. Taking the fight out of them. Mitigating the threat.
Clear, Commander.
Hostilities are afoot. Ratcheting up my aggression.
Hastening to cover!
Check your scope for combatant analysis. Combatant scan.
Sharpen up. Hostiles nearby. This might sting. A lot. Step aside. Swine.
Be able to reconnect their supply lines now, and we can get paid.
Proceeding to attack. Adversary vault.
This might sting. A lot. All over it.
Stun weapon ready, Commander. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
No problems now that we've acquired the modulator. Commander, glorious dawn up ahead. Probably best to turn back until I've sorted whatever treachery has undermined my status within the ranks. I'd welcome the bloodshed, but that's not going to get me my answers.
Dagmar. The cur. How could she betray me? Her, of all people. The one who recruited me into the Dawn and saved my life. And out of all the cultists, she elevated me to the highest rank in the Dawn. Was her right hand. She was my supervisor. I was just a lowly scientist. She alone could see my heart through the shell the Protectorate encased me in. And when she saw my pain, she looked into my background. It was then that she recruited me. My psychological profile. I saw it once. Recommended sending me to mental refreshment when I was young. Repeatedly. Something about killing sprats. But my parents were able to keep that from happening. The paranoia the Protectorate creates in its subjects crowds everything else out. Even familial love. They were terrified that my behavior would lead people to start looking at them askance. You remember I told you they were vigilant, right? They could have helped me in numerous ways, ways lesser subjects' parents couldn't. But they did nothing. Just locked me away until I learned to hide my feelings. My existence was always bleak, joyless, without purpose. Just like every other subject's. Dagmar was the first friend I'd had since I was a young child. She gave me a life. A family. Or so I thought. Thank you. But Dagmar has shown me I can't depend on anyone. I have to let my beliefs guide me now. They're all I have left. It's hard to explain, but outside of the lab, thinking only ever confused me, got me into trouble. Since I joined the Dawn, everything has been so much simpler. I depend on the Dawn's beliefs. Without them, I would have nothing but a purposeless existence. I just can't, and I won't. I'm certain we've better things to do than whatever this is. What? Sorry. Caught me lost in my upper story. There's something you wanted to converse on? Simply that as much as I'd welcome the bloodshed, it may be wise for me to avoid members of the Dawn until I get their treachery sorted.
If we're bound next for Newton, might be wise for Azza to head back to the ship.
Though I'd also point out that if I can resolve my problems with the Glorious Dawn, then I may be more effective in Newton, whether that be through diplomacy or killing.
Did you need something? May all our travail...
You're back. Was beginning to wonder if you'd gotten buried in a snowdrift. Did you kill those yay-saying bootlickers good? Your acumen for problem solving is seconded only by your pedantry. Here's your reward. Now get along. I'm as likely to be buried alive by my paperwork as the snow outside. Auntie thanks you for your devotion to the free market.
Huh. Who's this now? Here I have you to thank for my transfer going through from Winter's Grasp. Wouldn't have happened if you hadn't reconnected our territory. Anyhow, I'm grateful. Not in a free goods and services way, mind you, but in a fondly appreciative manner. How might I help you? Yup, Auntie's choice heals all ails. Not responsible for epidermal necrolysis, vanishing fingerprints, or immediate onset pernicious anemia.
for torpification.
Consider safe. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Making strides! I'll find them!
I have a fix on their weakness.
Medkit coming your way!
Rats tingling.
All charged up!
Target analyzed. Lay down. Vitals are in the red, Commander.
Pick me up. I do it for you.
Check your scopes for combatants. Locking
Locking them down. Torpification in progress.
Back in business!
Investigating hostile intentions.
Hostile ahead. What's the play, then?
This must be the place Ortiz mentioned. Hard to fathom a lab in those caves.
Hostilities are afoot. Negative. Recharge incomplete.
Hop in my claw.
Practicing some battlefield. Taking a little easy there, Commander.
This must be the place Ortiz mentioned. Hard to fathom a lab in those caves. Back in business.
Combatant scanned. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Investigating hostile target analyzed. Lay down fire. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Are you hearing this? It's some manner of distress signal. Encrypted. One of Auntie's, I'm certain, but this one ain't entirely familiar to me. Can't unless you have an Auntie's Choice patented codebreaker on your person. Reckon we'll need to find the signal source. If it's not to do with the lab, I'll be damned. We should press on. What in the void? Law, I think I've seen enough death to fill 3 lifetimes. And it don't get any easier. What happened here? He spent his last moments crawling over to this terminal from the wreck. Sorry, friend. Wait. He's got a code breaker on him. Let's see. I'll be damned. That powered up the elevator. Signal's stronger than ever now. These poor bastards must have been responding to it same as us. This must be the lab.
At least Auntie's Choice had the good sense to leave the back door operational. Can't say I'm yearning to see what they've done with the place, though.
I just want answers. Let's go.
Hello? Is anyone there? I have been signaling for help incessantly. Come quickly. I'm trapped in my office, by the foyer. The others, I fear they might have lost their lives at the hands, claws of escaped beasts. Mind yourself.
That's him. That must be the doctor. He's got no idea an entire squad died trying to fly in here and save his sorry ass.
That's assuming he'd care. I'd give that roughly a 1 out of 10 chance. I've had enough of close calls with Seradium for one lifetime, thank you.
What? Ola Ortiz? No. No, it ain't him. I thought... Commander, help me make sense of this.
Uh-huh. Now I extra want to kill this scientist.
I had a notion of what I might encounter here. Test tubes, records, some graphs kept on ice, but not this. Law. My heart just about stopped when I saw him. I thought Ortiz had come back, gotten himself in trouble, but... No. This man, whoever he is, he's been dead for a time. 2 weeks. Law. And he's just being kept here. Not even a proper burial, just treated like a thing. Void, damn it. This poor man. The test subjects. Ortiz. All of them are dead. All of them left in ruin by the butchers running this place. All of them could have been me. That ain't true. It weren't abandonment. It was breakage. I knew what would happen should anything go wrong. It made me a liability. It endangered my unit. I can't blame anyone else when I knowingly accepted the risks. But they gave me hope when I had nothing. If that was a lie, then where does that leave me? Suppose I've always known something to be true, though. If nobody's privy to what the powerful do behind closed doors, then they can do anything. It's folk like us who pay the price. All that matters now is finding that doctor. He's got a reckoning coming. My aim's steady, if that's your concern. I'm sorry. I'll be fine once we breathe fresh air again. Just need this to be over.
Have me pinned down. Handle them straight away, please. I cannot let my genius be wasted here.
Void, damn coward. We'll see how you beg when we're face to face.
My aftermarket parts are prime.
Is this the cub that Terminal mentioned? Still breathing, but only just.
Void. That must be his mama on the other side of the glass.
We were too late for the soldier back there, but not too late for this cub. We should help. wretched work. Poor creatures ain't got an idea what's in store for them. Those things. I wanted a pet cysty pig real bad when I was a kid. I can water and feed him if you're keen. Ain't never seen a cysty pig move so fast.
Eyes up. I spy a vent.
Guess those ursopods won't be easy. They turn mean real fast.
This'll help the poor cub regain his faculties. Cub's awake. Mama's rage is ebbing. Think this calls for a reunion. At least one good thing came of this place. Seems Mama's calmed all of the other ursopods too. Reckon we might walk on past.
Oh, thank the law, I'm saved. Release me at once, please. I so worry that nobody intercepted my distress signal.
Oh, we got his signal all right. Let's get the bastard.
I'd offer to bet on how this turns out, but I'm afraid the act might throw off my equations.
Touching reunion between mother and child. Never thought such a thing could be engineered between the beasts. Fascinating.
You the doctor in charge here?
Indeed I am, soldier. And my, what a picture you are. What exquisite graft work. Might I trouble you for an examination?
So you're the one who butchered my friend, Ortiz. The one who tortured those creatures out there. Who killed that soldier.
What's going on? I don't know any Ortiz, I swear it. I'm just a doctor. Please, don't shoot. Records? I don't know of any such... Oh, bother. Fine, yes, I did complete a procedure on one Trooper Ortiz, along with 2 others. He eagerly offered himself up for this project's first human trials. Rather hasty in hindsight.
I know what you're thinking. Yes, the grafting program was officially shuttered 6 months ago. That was not a lie. But I thought it a shame, and it seems I wasn't alone in that. I was recruited for this unofficial venture soon after. Don't understand the need for secrecy myself, but our sponsor demanded it. I dared not ask too many questions. He's some manner of executive. I don't know his name or official title, I swear. My orders came down the long, long chain of command. I'm only doing what I was told.
Enough with the excuses. You absolute wretch. Any scientist with any shred of decency would have refused your position. Your precious data is nothing compared to those you killed.
I sympathize with your friend, soldier. Truly, I do. But if I mourned every failure within these walls, I might never operate again. You must understand that the work we do here is greater than any one life. We can change the galaxy for the better. If you require convincing that my experiments have led to many breakthroughs, witness me. My own lungs would have failed without my prototyping of a device to keep me alive.
That device any good at stopping a bullet?
Enough with the threats of violence. Listen here, if you choose to brutalize me, all of my research and knowledge will be gone. Forever. The suffering you've seen here will be nothing in comparison to the suffering I could prevent. Do you truly want to be the one to stand in the way of progress? It's been a long time coming, but I believe I've laid the groundwork for treating injury and illness far better than modern medicine can manage. We are on the precipice of regrowing limbs that had been lost in accidents, reversing brain trauma, nerve damage, mayhaps aging one day. It would be a boon to humanity, and a boon to Auntie's bottom line.
Don't listen to this windbag, Commander. He's selling fairy tales.
Let's not be hasty. I see your graft is a result of revision surgery. Your first go was botched, and you were considered a failure of the program, yes? I know what happened to those failures. Demoted, disgraced. It was horrible business. And yet, you still wear our colors. You want to reclaim your station, don't you?
You don't know anything about what I want. I wish I could agree with you. But I have fallen in the esteem of others. The way the other soldiers looked at me after my procedure, I'll never forget it. Whether I want to regain my position or not doesn't matter. I don't want your help. I will not benefit from the pain of others.
You think there were no victims of the first program? That your existence isn't built off the bones of those who came before? You're no more righteous than I. You simply looked away. Now, if you stay your hand, I will grant you 2 state-of-the-art grafting parts. They cannot fail. Install one of them, and you'll see my earnest intent. You were never the broken thing they made you, soldier. If you wish it, you may still become a most extraordinary specimen.
No. Stop talking. Stay there. Don't make any stupid moves, understand? The adults need to have a talk over here. Commander, I don't know what to do. I came here intending to make him pay for what he's done. And I can't shake the reasons I've seen to burn this place to the ground. But what if he's right? What if something in his work is worth saving? What if this is my chance to make something of my life? To be accepted again? That's not what's happening. You really think I would entertain such an opportunity if it only stood to benefit me and me alone? No! The stakes are far greater. I'm scared. Commander, what I decide here could have mighty repercussions, and I don't want to choose wrongly. If I take a step back, really think about it, medical strides could be made if the research were in the hands of someone righteous, kind. A big if. But if I kill this man and exact retribution for Ortiz, I'll never know for sure what that research might have wrought. And if I do that, there'll be no going back for me, myself one of Auntie's own. Would I even want to? Thank you. I was just kidding myself thinking I might ever look at a place like this again and feel different. There was only ever one real outcome.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't shoot me. We were in the midst of negotiating.
I have no need for negotiating, Doctor. You brought this on yourself. Let's just take what we need and get out. I can't stand the sight of this place any longer.
Mechanist Tate speaking. I need the record to show that I have reported many times that these pressure valves have fallen into disrepair. Only to be ignored each of those times. And now I'm out here in the voided cold, attempting to stop this leak from getting worse and... What was that? Stay back, creature! Blast that doctor for locking the catcher in the gun safe! This is when I need it! Maybe...
Think we should make for Fairfield for the grafting lab. This mechanical augmentation could be of use to me, to us, if we can get it installed on the shoulder. And maybe I can bend the doc's ear for a moment or two. If anyone can help me make sense of what happened with Rasmussen, it's her. I need answers. So how about it? Thank you, Commander. I apologize for having us run about like this, but I just ain't been feeling right since the lab. Like there's an itch just beneath the skin. I'm just hoping something will put me right again.
take the pressure off with anti-physical.
You know, I can't recall seeing any of these protector types ever run a song on each other.
Someday, when I make it big in lower middle management, I'm gonna come back here and try and crush it.
Ah, Inez. Have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I got a device that might help stabilize what I got going on up on the shoulder. Ought to let me use my graft all the more often. Think you can install it?
Oh, well, this device is unusual and rather ingenious, if I may say so. Hold still, dear. This should take but a moment. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future, but I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. Where did you find such a device, anyhow? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive, cowering. I killed him, and let his sick aims die along with him. There's no good that can come of his work. Nothing.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all this.
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery. His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
Doc, with all due respect, what I do with him when I get there is my own damn business.
I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, all I ask is that you remain safe. A terrible wrong has been done, but do not throw your life away to right it. You might seek justice via other means.
I can't promise anything, Doc, but I'll try. Thank you for everything.